everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ellie and today's video is going to be my Kindle Unlimited TBR. I've been reading books on the Kindle app on my phone for about a year now, but last month I received a Kindle which I am really excited about, and it's just made reading ebooks a whole lot easier. And I've seen quite a few people do this video recently, so I thought I would do my own version. So this is the Kindle edition that I have. I want to decorate it with some stickers, so if you know any good places to get like some bookish themed stickers, then please let me know because it's looking a bit plain at the minute. So I'm going to go through the books as they come up on my screen, and then I will insert a picture of the book covers so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So if I scroll right down to the bottom, the first book I have on here is actually one that I purchased on Audible, and that is Kings of Quarantine by Caroline Peckham and Susan Valenti. This is the first book in a 4-book series. I have listened to this one and honestly I didn't really enjoy it because I just did not like one of the main characters, Tatum. She just got on my nerves the whole way through the book, and I was really disappointed because I love the Zodiac Academy series, so I just wanted to try something else by those authors, and unfortunately I just didn't really like it. Then I have 2 books from the Dirty Air series by Lauren Asher. I have Wrecked and Redeemed. I have read the first 2, and then when I finished reading them I returned them back to the Kindle library, so I have got the last 2 which I am still yet to read. They are the longest standing books that I have on my Kindle, so I definitely need to get around to them soon. I don't know why I've put it off for so long, to be honest. So Wrecked is book 3 in the Dirty Air series, and it is the story of Jax and Elena. Jax: pills, alcohol, adrenaline. I'm addicted to destructive decisions that numb my pain, until one night I made a catastrophic mistake. To repair my broken reputation, my team hires Elena, an overpaid babysitter set on ruining my plans. She's my damnation disguised as my salvation and my newest addiction. Elena: I beg the universe to save me from my financial disaster. It answered my call with a Formula One team desperate for a PR miracle. 1 season, 1 job, 1 broody British racer. Except that Jax turns our hotel room into a battleground. To beat the enemy, I need to find his weaknesses. What I learn threatens to ruin everything. Him, me, us. Love is a war zone and neither one of us plans to surrender. Then Redeemed is book 4 and the final book, and this is the story of Santiago and Chloe. Santiago: one mistake destroys my career. I go from most eligible bachelor to monster hiding from the world. At least until Chloe breaks into my home. My new fake girlfriend is a temporary fix to our biggest problem. But as our game changes, so do my feelings. There's only one issue stopping me from claiming her. Me. Chloe. It all started with a birthday wish, some vodka and an ancestry kit. That's how I ended up in Italy, finding my long lost father. But one decision lands me a fake boyfriend I don't want. The more we pretend, the easier our ruse becomes. I told myself not to fall in love with a liar like Santiago. I should have listened. So fake dating is probably one of my least favourite tropes, just because I find them quite predictable because you always know they're going to end up together in the end. But I have loved the 2 books I've read so far in this series, so I do have high hopes for it. Then I have Darling Venom by Parker S. Huntington. I had seen this book floating around a lot, so thought I would download it and give it a go myself. My first love ended in tragedy. My second began with his brother. So this already sounds like there's going to be a twist to it. I wasn't supposed to be on that roof on Valentine's Day. Neither was Kellen, the school's designated freak. We met on the verge of ending our lives. Somehow the tattered strings of our tragedies tangled and tightened into an unlikely bond. We decided not to take the plunge and agreed to check on each other every Valentine's Day until school ended. Same time, 1 roof, 2 restless souls. We kept our promise for 3 years. On the 4th, Kellen made a decision and I was left to deal with the consequences. Just when I thought our story ended, another one began. They say all love stories look the same and taste different. Mine was venomous, disgraceful, and written in scarlet stars. My name is Charlotte Richards, but you can call me Venom. So this just sounds like it's going to be gripping and emotional. Then I have Don't Kiss the Bride by Carrie and Cole. This author and this book I have seen so much on BookTube, and it does say this is an age gap marriage of convenience. I'm not a huge fan of the marriage of convenience trope, but I do like an age gap, so I'm hoping I am really gonna like this one. I guess you could say I was a damsel in distress and he was my knight in shining armor, but more accurately I was a girl with a lot of bad luck and he was a guy with a lot of muscles and tattoos. Jude Lucky Lacetti wasn't just a sexy, brooding construction worker. He was my own personal hero who seemed to be in all the right places at the right times. Like when my car broke down and I needed a ride home, when I face planted the sidewalk right in front of him and had to be taken to the emergency room. Those weren't exactly my best moments, but they were his. We became friends, and it didn't matter that he was 16 years older than me. That's quite an age gap. We had a lot in common, like our love of old rock music and vintage fast cars, and our aversion to relationships. When he approached me with a crazy idea to help me out, I couldn't say no. The arrangement was supposed to be temporary, a marriage on paper and nothing else. It should have been easy, but it wasn't, because here I am, 18 years old, still in high school, and married to a man I was never supposed to fall in love with. We had just one rule, no kissing the bride, but we broke that rule and sealed our fate forever. So I forgot that the heroine in this was 18 and still in high school, so I think this is going to be interesting. But I also think I see that slightly differently, because obviously I'm from the UK, so you leave school at 16. So to me, when you're 18 in the UK, you're like a full adult, but I feel like in the US you're still viewed as a child because you're still in school. So I think I'm okay with like age gaps when the heroine's 18, because to me they were like, an 18-year-old is like old enough to make their own decisions. When, you know, like when I was 18, I was out working, I had a job, like I'd left college, but maybe that's just like a British thing. So the next one I have is Say It's Forever. This is by A.L. Jackson. This is book 2 in the Redemption Hill series. I haven't read book 1 and I don't have book 1, so I'm hoping this is going to be able to be read as a standalone. If not, I'm going to have to return this one and download the first one. But it says this is a close proximity single parent, standalone romance, that's good, about a woman on the run and a man who will do anything to save her. So again, I never really used to be a fan of single parent romances, but I've read a few recently and enjoyed them a lot more than I thought I was going to, so that trope's definitely moving up on my list. Judd Lawson found me stranded in the rain, broken down on the side of the road in a deserted neighbourhood with my piece of crap car. I wasn't looking for a hero, and definitely not one who looks like him. An obscenely hot mountain of a man who screams danger. But I have little choice other than climbing into the back of his bike. One look at Salem and I'm hooked. The girl is devastation wrapped in a black seductive bow. A knockout, a dream. Turns out she needs a job and I need the help. I now have a vixen strutting around my shop, and I'm the fool who's itching to reach out and take what he can't have. But neither of us can ignore the burning attraction, a fire that leads to a kiss that has us falling into my bed, the connection that has me wanting the one thing I never thought I could have again, because monsters like me don't deserve love. Only Salem has a secret too. She's been running for years and her past has just caught up to us. I'm intrigued to see what she's running from, and this, I think, is going to be a sweet romance. I think I've heard people say this is a sweet romance. I could be totally wrong with that. I also have a hot chocolate here in a Christmas mug, and I'm right-handed and the handle is on the wrong side for me to be able to show how cute this mug is, but it's like a little gingerbread house. So the next book I have here is a novella. It is Forever Wild, which is Simple Wild book 3. I accidentally purchased this when I was looking the book up. I have read book 1, The Simple Wild, but I haven't read book 2, so I haven't even read what happens in this, and I'm not going to read what happens in this because I don't want any spoilers from book 2, but book 2 is on my Christmas list. So hopefully I'm going to get around to that one soon, so then I can pick up book 3. Then I have The Initiation by Nikki Sloan. Again, I accidentally purchased this one whilst reading about it. I've heard mostly good things about this book. I remember watching someone's video, I don't know who it was, but they were really let down by this one, but I'm hoping that I am gonna like it. So The Initiation is book 1 in the Filthy Rich American series, and it's by Nikki Sloan. No one knows how new members are selected to the board of Hale Banking and Holding, but there are rumours of a sordid rite of initiation. Whispers how one woman and 9 men disappear into a boardroom. This time that woman will be me. The Hale family owns everything. The 8th largest bank in the world, everyone in our town, even the mortgage on my parents' mansion. And now Royce Hale wants to own me. He's charming, seductive, ruthless, but above all he's the prince of lies. My body may tighten with white-hot desire under his penetrating gaze, but I refuse to enjoy it. I'll make a deal with the devil to save my family and sell myself to the Hales, but Royce will never own my heart. So I'm really intrigued by this one. I don't know too much about what actually happens, but I have the feeling this is going to be like an enemies to lovers kind of vibe, which I do enjoy. The next book is one that I have actually started reading. I am up to chapter 4 and I just kind of stopped and I don't really know why, but that is 2204 Hunter Lane by Marie France Leisure. So I was enjoying it up to chapter 4 and I sat and read to that point all in one go, but I think I was just reading something else at the time and just forgot that I had started this one. But this is about Marley Matthews. She screwed up. Following a drunken night of pleasure, she decides to abandon her glamorous New York City lifestyle and move to Nebraska with a man who quickly betrays her, leaving her hopeless with no one to turn to. After driving in the night and escaping the life she pursued, Marley ends up stranded in front of a farmhouse owned by the Lanes. Peyton Lane, a kind stepmother, kindly takes her in until she can get back on her feet. But her stepson Hunter, who is reluctant to Marley and does not make it any easier on her when she decides to accept Peyton's offer. But there's more to Hunter than what he projects, and Marley begins to think that she may have found someone even more broken than she was. There are some trigger warnings on here for drunk driving, loss of a loved one, alcohol abuse, mental health, insecurity, body image, and toxic family dynamic. So I think I need to wait to continue this when I am in the right headspace with all those trigger warnings. But again, I've heard this mentioned a few times and I think people seem to enjoy it. So the next book I have is actually a new release, but the author posted about it on Instagram with a link to say that it was free for like a week or something. So I downloaded it quick, and that is King of Wrath by Anna Huang. I have the Twisted series. I don't know if you can see up there. I have read the first book and really enjoyed it. So this is by the same author, and I have just seen lots of really good things about this book on Instagram as well. So I'm really excited to finally get around to this one. It is a steamy billionaire romance, and billionaire romances recently have been some of my favorite kinds of romances. She's the wife he never wanted and the weakness he never saw coming. Ruthless, meticulous, arrogant, Dante Russo thrives on control, both personally and professionally. The billionaire CEO never planned to marry, until the threat of blackmail forces him into an engagement with a woman he barely knows, Vivian, a heiress and daughter of his newest enemy. It doesn't matter how beautiful or charming she is, he'll do everything in his power to destroy the evidence and their betrothal. There's only one problem. Now that he has her, he can't bring himself to let her go. Vivian is the perfect daughter and her family's ticket into the highest of high society. Marrying a blue-blooded Russo means opening doors that would otherwise remain closed to her new money family. While the rude, elusive Dante isn't her idea of a dream partner, she agrees to their arranged marriage out of duty. Craving his touch was never part of the plan. Neither was the worst thing she could possibly do. Fall in love with her future husband. So again, I'm pretty sure I already said this in this video, but Marriage of Convenience is not my favourite, but it sounds like it's going to be enemies to lovers as well, which I do like. So I really like this author, so I'm really hoping that I'm going to love this one too. The next book again was the same kind of scenario. I followed the author on Instagram and she posted to say this book was currently free on Kindle, so downloaded it quickly, and that is Tattered Stars by Catherine Cowles. I've heard lots of amazing things about her books and I've just never got around to picking them up, so because this one was free on Kindle Unlimited, I thought I would give it a go. Be brave, just for 60 seconds, 20 breaths. It took every ounce of my courage to return to the small town I fled all those years ago, but I should have known he'd hate me. How could he not when my father's blood still runs through my veins? Yet here I am, desperate for a chance to make things right, even if it means facing the family my father almost destroyed and the boy with dark eyes, now grown, who still haunts my dreams. I never expected just how explosive things would turn between us. He's the last person I should want, yet somehow I keep drawing closer. So close, I know I'll end up burned. But Hayes is a good man, a noble one, someone who's channeled his pain into a career spent protecting those around him. So when the threats begin, he steps in to keep me safe, and we discover that maybe neither of us knew the other at all. As the sparks between us ignite into something deeper, someone watches and they'll do anything to tear us apart. I've also been really loving small town romances recently, so I'm really excited that this is a small town romance, and I'm just really hoping that it's going to live up to the hype. Then I have another audiobook that I have downloaded on Audible on here, which is Beyond the Wand by Tom Felton, which is his autobiography. I did actually start listening to it this morning. I am halfway through the second chapter, so not too far in, but I'm really liking it. He narrates it himself, which is the reason why I wanted the Audible copy of this book, and yeah, I really enjoy it. Then I have a book which I was sent to review, and that is Reigns of Clans and Gods by Ashley Medalo, I think that's how you say the author's name. I have read this book and I did enjoy it. Set in this world where there are like these different clans, and two of the clans join together in marriage, but then there are traitors and there's a little bit of spice in it as well, which I wasn't expecting. So I will go into it more in my November wrap up because I read it at the start of this month, but I did really enjoy that one. Then I have Love Light Farms, and this is by BK Borison. I initially just downloaded this because I wanted to read some Christmassy books in the run up to Christmas, and the cover of this book is gorgeous. So I downloaded it simply because of the cover. So Love Light Farms is book one in the Love Light Farms series, where the love light gleams, a pasture of dead trees, a hostile takeover of the Santa barn by a family of raccoons, and shipments have mysteriously gone missing. Love Light Farms is not the magical winter wonderland of Stella Bloom's dreams. In an effort to save the Christmas tree farm she's loved since she was a kid, she enters a contest with the Insta-famous influencer, Evelyn St. James. With the prize added publicity and the $100,000 cash prize, she might just be able to save the farm from its financial woes. There's just one problem. To make the farm seem like a romantic destination for the holidays, she lied on the application and said she owns Love Light Farms with her boyfriend, only there is no boyfriend. Enter best friend Luca Peters. He just came through for some hot chocolate and somehow got a farm and a serious girlfriend in the process. Love Light Farms is a romantic comedy featuring a handsome, freckled data analyst and messy, optimistic Christmas tree farm owner in a small town with the best hazelnut lattes on the coast. This sweet and steamy romance is a holiday happy ever after. So again, not one of my favourite tropes of fake dating, but it just sounds like it's going to be a really cute Christmas romance. Then another Christmassy book, which I just downloaded based off the cover, is Take My Heart, and this is by Kaylee Baldwin. Again, this just popped up whilst I was searching through Christmas romance recommendations on Kindle. It does say this was previously published as One Great Christmas Love Story, so you may have read it under that title. Cardiologist Holly wishes she could bypass the entire Christmas season and its painful memories, but when Holly learns that the free clinic has lost its official funding, she's determined to think creatively, even if it means turning to the scroogiest doctor on staff, Jack. The last thing Jack wants is to let Holly play online matchmaker for him as a fundraiser, have the woman he's been in love with since medical school set him up with someone else, hard pass, except he's never been able to tell her no. When Holly's fundraising and matchmaking plans go awry, she scrambles to fix it before she loses everything, but it seems her heart has plans of its own. Take My Heart is for readers who love endearingly grumpy sunshine energy, friends to lovers romance, heartwarming stories, and the swooniest of kisses. So this sounds like the perfect Christmas romance for me. I do like a grumpy sunshine. The next book I have is Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. I wasn't going to read the series, but then I watched a video of someone talking about it the other day and I thought actually it does sound quite good. So I have read a few books by this author. I did recently DNF 1, which was taboo, but it was just a little bit too much for me. I know that her books do tend to be taboo, but I have read and liked more of her books than read and not liked more of her books, so I'm hoping this is going to be a good one as well. Erica. I was told my dreams were our heart's desires. My nightmares, however, became my obsession. His name is Michael Christ. My boyfriend's older brother is like that scary movie that you peek through your hand to watch. He's handsome, strong, and completely terrifying. Start of his college's basketball team and now gone pro, he's more concerned with the dirt on his shoe than me. But I noticed him. I saw him, I heard him, the things that he did and the deed that he hid. For years now, I bite my nails, unable to look away. I've now graduated high school and moved on to college, but I haven't stopped watching. He's bad and the dirt I've seen isn't content to stay in my head anymore, because he's finally noticed me. Michael. Her name is Erica Fane, but everyone calls her Rika. My brother's girlfriend grew up hanging around my house and is always at our dinner table. She looks down when I enter her room and stills when I'm close. I can always feel the fear rolling off her, and while I haven't had her body, I know that I will have her mind. That's all I really want anyway. Until my brother leaves for the military and I find Rika alone at college, in my city, unprotected. The opportunity is too good to be true, as well as the timing. Because you see, 3 years ago, she put a few of my high school friends in prison and now they're out. We've waited, we've been patient, and now every last one of her nightmares will come true. So Corrupt is a standalone dark romance with no cliffhanger for 18+. So I'm a little worried rereading back through that synopsis as to how this is going to go down. I feel like it might be a bully romance, but we shall see. Then I have Zodiac Academy Book 7, Heartless Sky by Caroline Peckham and Susan Valenti. I am currently reading this book. I have the physical copy of this as well, but because the Zodiac Academy books are so big and so thick, they are quite hard to just sit and read, so I just downloaded the Kindle version of it to get through it quicker. I am 45% in with that one. Then I also have 2 more books which I was sent to review, which are Wrapped in Winter and Deep in Winter. They are part of the Three Kings duet and they are by Penny Asher Dark. I have read both of these books. They follow winter and there are 3 male characters, Luca, Brecken and Reuben, and she gets with all 3 of them is all I will say. Again, these books will be included in my November wrap up, but I'm also reviewing them on my Instagram, which I'll leave in the link down below if you want to hear more before that wrap up is posted. And then the final book, which I have downloaded, signed up to a mailing list, and the author added a novella to the link as a thank you for signing up. This is Choosing You by Lena Hendricks. I believe this is a novella. It does say this book contains adult material, including references to alcohol abuse and child neglect, so there are trigger warnings for that. It's not giving me the option on Kindle to read any notes about this book, so honestly I have no idea what this is about and what happens. I just downloaded it because it was free. So I have been talking for nearly 40 minutes, so I'm going to end the video here. Let me know if you have read any of these books and what you thought of them, or if you have any Kindle Unlimited recommendations, then also please let me know in the comments below. But I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe got some recommendations from it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next week.